A Florida prosecutor's office has decided not to pursue a case against Donald Trump's campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski. The prosecutors say that while Lewandowski grabbed reporter Michelle Fields, the evidence was not strong enough to support a criminal prosecution. They also say that she entered a protective bubble near the candidate.
The press was directed toward the back. There's this bubble, and she makes her way beyond the press area and gets right next to Mr. Trump and actually makes slight contact with Mr. Trump. And you can see that he sort of recoils.
It's this hand, her left hand, that we were able to capture that touches him. When she touches him, you see him recoil his right arm like this away. And based on the position where Mr. Lewandowski was standing, his vantage point would have been such that he could see that. So in his mind, it's reasonable to believe that he had just witnessed, observed a touching, or her trying to grab onto Mr. Trump in some respect, and he then reaches in and he pulls her away from an area in which she was not supposed to be in to begin with.
The bullet entered where?
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
That's
So back and to the left.
This is a brutal film.
Yeah.
The Trump campaign released a statement saying the matter is now concluded. In an interview last night, Lewandowski said he regrets the distraction, but used the occasion to contrast Trump's handling of it to others.
First, let me say how much I am thankful for Mr. Trump and his loyalty in this very, very difficult time. You know, many other candidates, all of the other candidates in the race asked me to be fired and said I should have my chance for my day in court. And what we saw today was that they looked at the evidence and decided there was no way that they could prosecute this case and move forward. So first and foremost, I want to thank Mr. Trump.
You got to give Trump props for that. I mean, that really showed his mettle.
For the first time, we've heard nothing from the reporter who's made these accusations. Just nothing at all. She tweeted a lot about it. She was very upset when it happened. You could hear the audio tape. She was saying, oh, my God, oh, my God.
One of the things I've said about Trump all along, in addition to his family, is his employees are very loyal to him.
Do you guys really think
that's one of the reasons. That's kind of boss he was, the way he stood behind him.
Listen, I think the fact that we are talking about this story at this point in time is complete political malpractice by Corey Lewandowski. This whole incident could have been resolved in literally 2 seconds with him saying, I'm sorry. Instead, what he did, again, was to go out there, manufacture a fake story about he never saw her and never touched her, which was disproven by the film. I never said when we talked about this last time that it looked like a horrific attack or anything, but he clearly lied about it. And now we're here, and hopefully this goes away.
She told the truth?
I don't think she necessarily told the truth either.
He is a private citizen. What I want to know is why did the people who arrested him, it wasn't hot pursuit. This was a couple weeks later. Why did they feel the need to not consult, to arrest him without consulting the people who eventually decided he didn't need to be prosecuted? It is unfair. Yeah. Whatever the facts, Sam's right. Perhaps he should have apologized, could have ended. But it is unfair to him to make him go through the weeks that he had to go through when all they had to do was consult with the prosecutors and say, here's what we found. Would you prosecute this case? There was no rush to arrest him.
There is no doubt.
I agree with that.
It's unfair to him.
No doubt that that's a legitimate point. There is no doubt that had Corey apologized immediately, it would have disappeared that evening. Yeah. There is also no doubt that if John Weaver, John Kasich's campaign manager, had done a similar thing, we wouldn't even know about it. It's Trump that fed this. It's the Trump campaign, the whole furor.
But again, it was fed by the fact that he lied. I mean, he said that he didn't know her and never touched her, and there was video of it. But Mark's right. I mean, they could have resolved this easy, too.
You all are talking about very important parts of this, but you're failing or afraid to talk about where it all began.
With the woman who brought it up.
I mean, listen. She obviously over-exaggerated the extent to which she was pulled down.
Please tell the truth more.
But she also felt like she had been assaulted.
She said she was almost thrown to the ground. And
then she had someone who did, I mean, the videotape does show him grabbing her. He had that person actually tell her that she was crazy and he never met her and never touched her. I mean, that's a fact. And the truth is, he had met her, he had touched her.
But why are you all afraid to talk about both sides of this? Why are you putting this
What would have happened if a man, to your point, let's say that was a man instead of that female reporter, and that man
brought up those claims in suits. He would have been harassed and harangued and called all kinds of names.
Yeah,
so I guess to your point,
well,
as
she has
that's totally. I mean,
but not. But can you imagine a man? But I still think the big story is
I think
the way
she's
Trump
been harassed more than a man would be.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A man claimed that he was.
Yeah.
I mean, and also, come on, man. There's a total different dynamic when it's a woman who's being grabbed by a man than a man being grabbed by a
I'm
woman.
going to tell you right now, a lot worse has happened to me in a press scrum.
No doubt.
A lot worse.
No doubt. But
Worse happened to me last night in Brooklyn.
Thank you.
People don't like you. I mean, that's why that happens.
I'm not going to say it, but I'm surprised that even now, when you see Florida state officials literally spelling out what happened, totally debunking the story.
Mika, there's a difference between a crime
and saying there was no crime.
And inappropriate behavior.
But it was a W for
Sure.
Trump. He stood by his man, and it's
not a W. He spent 3 weeks talking about
but
this.
at the end of the day, it is true that a lot of other candidates would have fired him, and Donald got up there, whether you like him or not, and said, hey, look, he's a good man. This is ridiculous, and I stand by him.
He also called the prosecutors to talk to them about the case, which I'm not sure was the best idea, but typical Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Helped.
I don't like what happened.
I hear you. We'll have to agree to disagree.
The fact that
Yeah.
it received such extensive coverage, shame on us.
I don't like what happened. Coming up, Donald Trump.
Wait, we didn't hear you. Did you like or not like
I'm
what
just going
happened?
to be very
Confused by
careful. But I think I think women have a responsibility to make sure that we.
Yours. Leave it. There it is. I'm going to leave it. I can't comment.
That
we should go to break.
that we bring to the table valuable credibility, and that we don't. I think something that is sort of hard to talk about happened here, and I'm not going to.
I was trying to get at that.
Push it forward and lead to any more problems, but this was a joke.